But we have one man who has a beautiful story in many parts. The story starts from in fact, doing many things. I'll just want to simply give him this description. He was trained as a computer scientist turned behavioral change therapist and business community and membership specialist with more than 2 decades of experience working. He holds several certificates for several exercise areas of expertise. He now consults for businesses that are into cost strategy and operations, advising with focus on business processes, change management, culture, and business model development. He was once, I think he's also, I don't know whether he still does that nowadays, but he was the UWIN monitor and consultant to UWIN, SMEs in the North Central Zone of Nigeria. You know that. And he's been reputed and reported in many journals across the world as the first Nigerian to be certified as an anger mastery coach and therapist from Century Anger Management Institute in the United States, and a certified peak performance business life coach. That means he doesn't get angry, and if you are angry, he knows how to manage you. He's also doing a doctorate. I think by now he should have finished in the University of Business and International Studies in Geneva, Switzerland. He's the immediate past president of Empowerment for Life Coaches Association of Nigeria. He convened the BSG Summit. That summit, the lowest amount, I think the budget that Central Bank released for us was that they spent about 10 to 15 million, but we know it's more than that because there are certain things you cannot qualify in the names of Naira and Kobo. But he's here with us. And I said something before, that he is going to talk to us. He teaches. He gives. What he's giving us now is free. His books are on sale outside there. I told you about Based on Logistics and That Fans Don't Pay. 2 books out. He's selling them. Very affordable. He's also a personal coach. That one, he collects money. So let's clarify so that you don't come and quote me where I cannot be quoted. He collects money, but he does it very well. He's about the best in Nigeria. I'm also one of his students. I've not entered the anger management class because the way the things are in this country now, I don't want to even lose my anger. I need it. I need it to use in some bus stop and in some areas. When you are driving in this Abuja, you need anger. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, he is a versatile teacher, a prolific speaker, a deep-thinking interpersonal coach, and a business advisor. He's also an author. Let's welcome our friend, Coach Sam Obafemi.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me this afternoon. Thank you, sir, and your wife for all the work that you do. Our time is fast spent, so I'd like to see if I can do my job in half the time I was given so that we can have some panel session on time. I came with recommended books because of the topic I'm about to talk about. I'd like to take you on a journey of, my topic is supposed to be about access, understanding access, making a case for influence economy. So if you can, I want you to get these books, not written by me, but books that have helped me on this study. My current dissertation in my doctoral program is around this topic. So it's something I'm very, very interested in. This title is The Membership Economy by Robbie Baxter. The Membership Economy. This book is called Subscribed by Tien Zhou. These are 2 books that I have done quite some work reading and trying to implement in business. And I want to share a few thoughts around access. Earlier, when the ED or the MD designate of Jai's Bank was talking, he said that this is the period of access. We don't own customers. We don't even own anything, really. We just own access. Sometime last year, we woke up to an unfortunate incident where we couldn't log on to Facebook. We didn't have access to Instagram. WhatsApp was off. and it looked like rapture had happened. It was very crazy because suddenly we didn't have access. We didn't have access to what looked like everything. So we are in a system and season where all business owners do is leverage access. CBN is enjoying access to those that are seeking funding and vice versa. Jai's Bank is asking us to come access facilities. Then they can access our lives. It's all about access. Let's do a quick exercise. Please come with me on Instagram. Go to a handle called Dano Milk NG. Dano Milk. Quickly, if you're on Instagram, go to Instagram. Go to the handle called Dano Milk NG. If you're on that handle, wave your phone. On Instagram. Fantastic. I want you to scroll down to, there's one of their posts where they said over 70,000 moms on board. Just check through the timeline. You will see a particular post, I think it's around the 20th post or something. You see a post called over 70,000 moms on board. If you have seen it, wave your phone. If you have seen that post. Over 70,000 moms on board. I'm going to use that post as my case study today, briefly, to talk about access, the access economy. When most businesses sell products, for some of you here who have books, or you sell courses, or you do makeup, or you sell hair, most of the things we do is we promote these products. We hope people come to buy them. So the average person here starts business by selling a product or a service. When you decide to sell a product or a service, you use several channels to promote and advertise your product or your service. Am I communicating? Because you are hoping that if somebody sees you for Facebook, they go pay. Or if na Instagram, or LinkedIn, or Twitter, or mailing list, or as I come here, so I say, go and buy my book. That is how we always did. That was a former business model. The current business model revolves around the customer, the data of the customer. Revolves around what we call the subscriber. And so my topic is talking about everything in business now is how much can I influence my buyer so that he can buy more. And some of the studies I'm finding out during my course is that the influence economy lowers marketing costs. Because in the long run, when I build a formidable, strong relationship with whoever is my buyer, I don't have to overmarket again. So in the long run, my marketing budget comes down and my return on investment goes up. Is that not why Facebook today, did you see in the news yesterday that I think in the state of California, Apple and Google were sanctioned by the courts for selling data, customer data. It's on the internet. I think yesterday or 2 days ago. Why are they doing so? Why is Facebook arguably the 4th largest country in the world? If it were a country, it's access to data. So my conversation today is to encourage everyone here, if you're doing business, to adopt what we call the influence economy. There are different names that it is called. We call it the membership economy. We call it the influence economy. There's actually a theory called the social capital theory that says all business is about social capital. If nobody is buying, you are not doing business. Some years ago, Sterling Bank said they were the one customer bank. How many of you heard it before? The one customer bank. Even though I don't have insider information about their strategy, I think that was what they were trying to tell us. Focusing on that one customer. So we're in the age of access. If you are doing business and you are not collecting your buyer data, you are not doing business. You are just a pedestrian business owner. You're just doing pedestrian business. It's like standing on the street and shouting and waving. You don't own anything. Collecting buyer data is very important. Number 2, we're in the age of genuine care. I'm an expert at mental health. And one of the dynamics we have discovered in business growth is that more customers prefer a brand that cares about them than cares about their pockets. So you'll notice that a brand can stay as long as possible provided their buyers think they care. Recession has nothing on those kind of brands. You know, guys, recession won't do anything. Google go there. Because even the people that work in Google don't want to leave Google. Google cares. That time when we did university, they'll be telling us Slumbeja, let's work for. They will tell us that in Slumbeja they give you this allowance, they give you that care, they give you something. They're like, wow. So sometimes you hear some companies started paternity leave and allowance before it became popular. You think that the employees there will leave? They're not going anywhere. They say, kill us. Fry us, where are your potatoes? So we're in the economy of genuine care. Why should you consider the influence economy? Why should it be a concern for you? If you're a business owner, you should be concerned about adopting the influence economy because you want to grow your market share. And I'm going to explain some strategies that is going to help you do that. You want to grow your market share. I stumbled on this analysis. My assistant found this on the internet. And I want to show you something. The last line on that slide says, the subscription economy, if you can see it, what's the percentage you can see there? Has grown over 435% in 9 years. If you are doing business here, and all you are doing is paying attention to the buyer, focus on what he or she wants, focus on how he or she is behaving, focus on what he or she. Do you know, as we're having this conversation now, you and your guys feed their house, and I go, they talk, say, man, we supposed to go chop barbecue and stick meat. Open your Instagram, you see stick meat advert, barbecue advert, you'll be wondering, these people, wow. You know, we're just saying it, and I now open Instagram, and I now just saw it. Yimu, the device is listening. You'll read that in the membership economy. So artificial intelligence in advanced businesses are listening to the buyer and positioning the product to make it look like you were looking for the product. But they were actually just following your instincts. So if you go on Netflix and you watch movies like The Social Dilemma and The Social Network, there are different movies on Netflix that amplify this message. If these big companies are listening to your conversations and positioning products in your face so that you feel that, maybe God is just confirming that I should buy the meat. God sees my heart. I was just thinking that I want to buy iPhone. I was just telling my wife, I just opened Facebook and now saw iPhone 14. I'm sure God is telling me that I should buy it. And maybe you are saying, God, if it's your will that I should buy this thing, just show me a sign. They just open Twitter or TikTok. You just see advert of iPhone. You say, God answers prayers. If the big brands are listening to your conversations and scripting you into buying more, why shouldn't you? That's the influence economy speaking. But how do we have access to those conversations? Some weeks ago, I saw a Proco doctor. He was talking about my paddy. He was promoting this water drinking stuff. When I saw it, of course, because I was doing research in my class, I was imagining that I should have access to a Proco doctor. I just imagine playing the conversation with him. If you have access to him, tell him the secrets. free of charge, no problem. So I was imagining I'm talking with a Proco doctor, and now we'll probably just say, we'll go on radio and say, I am a Proco doctor, I'm your guy, I'm your paddy for life. I want to call you randomly this week. Just give me access to talk to you this week about anything. He has a lot of fans. We'll put you, say, just okay, so if you want me to call you, go on our website, whatever that product was, and just drop your number randomly. And you find people trafficking to the website because they want to hear a Proco doctor's voice. Imagine they do that with RMD. Imagine they do that with Ramsey Noah. All these fair ladies will just die. Imagine that they do it with, say, Kate Henshaw, say, Omotola. All of us guys will like, I want to hear her voice. It's a strategy. You go to the site, drop your details, they randomly call you, 2 minutes call, 1 minute call. You are satisfied, you are happy, but they've collected your data. So today they're selling you generic water. Then the next day they tell you, how do you like your water? Salty, a little of sugar, a little of ginger, a little of this, what do you think? They say, you know what, go to this app, download this app, color your water bottle the way you want. What are they doing? They are using your information to create product variations. They come back and look at the data. 75% of people want their water a little bit of sugar. New product comes out. The people will still go and buy. Why am I spending on an advertising campaign when I can simply just have me interact with you, and in the 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, what you give me is what I use for my product evolution? Market don't set. Influence economy. Am I communicating with someone? Very simple logic. The second reason why you should be interested in the influence economy is to grow goodwill. And I just described that. Because me now, who do I expect to want to connect with self? Just thinking, I have access to the chief herself. There are some people that you just wish, in your dream you are saying, if I can just meet this person. So a brand can leverage and give access to people for that. Builds goodwill. Very important. So, in 5 minutes, how do you build a system in your business that leverages the influence economy? This is a subject matter very, very dear to me. Because I have seen, when I was doing my literature review, one of the data I found is that brand loyalty is not equal to purchase loyalty. I may like your brand. It's not the same thing as I am buying from your brand. They are two different things. And so I found that there's a nexus. If we can build membership systems that make people like our brand, then we can do a transition into buying more from our brand. And as we're engaging those people in our systems, they feel heard, they feel we feel them, they get the vibe. They tell more people, man, those guys are on point. So not only am I buying more, I'm encouraging everyone to buy more, and the reward system in the membership system makes them feel a lot of reciprocity. Reciprocate more. So you realize that in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, your marketing budget you can just stay stuck. You don't have to reduce it, but you don't have to increase it. And then people become advocates. Now then they die for you. Why are we dying for Idris Elba? Dying for Obama? Even Donald Trump, we notice he gets sense. People, they die for the man. There's just something about influence that we can transit and, adapt into marketing. So, how? Number one, if you want your business to really grow and do well, so that by the time we're coming for the next PABAM in 2023, you must start with your why. Simon Sinek says start with your why. I think it was Chief Johnson that said, you can't serve everyone, but your business must determine the people we want to serve and be very clear about it. Because I like how my sister put it, Today somebody is doing okra, you plant. Tomorrow you see somebody doing groundnut, you uproot your own, you plant. You are not rooted in your why. Why are you doing the business you are doing? Are you doing it because your mom was doing it? Are you doing it because your classmates from the university said it's the in thing? It takes me back to cryptocurrency when all of us were running crypto. Let me not go there so that some people will not start crying. Why are you doing what you are doing? Because people will buy into the why more than they will buy into the product or the service. That's the first place to start. Number 2, you must be aggressive about harvesting buyer data or lead data or prospect data. This is very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything you should take away from my conversation or my talk today, never meet a person and leave the person without collecting contacts. If that's your habit, in the long run, you know we'll get who to sell to. Customers are moving too fast. The dynamics in business are too dynamic. There's so much happening at the same time. So if you're saying that we did and they like us, we always get new people, it will shock you. I was talking to my sister about the proliferation of real estate developers. Suddenly, everywhere you turn, billboard. So suddenly, if I were to go into real estate business, I'm already at loss who to deal with. But what if, before this explosion, there was a relationship between a real estate company and maybe my class of customers? I'm not bothered how many billboards show up. I know where I stand. So it's very important to collect data. Very, very important. Number 3, variety of data. This is just to qualify harvesting your contacts. The minimum you should harvest or minimum you should have, and this is one thing we're going to implement, even for PABAM. There is so much going on, you have to be able to say, I have the phone numbers and at least email address of anyone that ever interacts with my business. The time of, I have 1 million IG followers. By yourself, you go wake up. Instagram go disable your handle. Go and ask Tunde Ednot. Last year, I think he had to create handle after handle, they will shut it down. You go this one, they shut them down. I wonder who the guy offended. The gods were angry. You can wake up one day and your Facebook has disappeared. What you have more control over is phone numbers and email addresses that you have kept within your control. That is why that is very important. Then, depending on the kind of business you operate, you can expand the variety of data. A typical example, Dano Milk says 20,000 moms. It means that in their data, they are collecting gender and those who have children. That's a variety of data. You remember the days of Etisalat, when it looked like they were youth-centric. It means that age was a factor in their data collection. Jaiz Bank is doing business with all religious people. However, they may also say, you know what, Ramadan period, we have exclusive meals for Muslims. But if the data does not capture religion, how do you attract that class? You just blast to everybody? No. So your data should have variety that is dependent on the kind of product or services or the kind of data you want to mine. Very, very key. The next point, which is for me the most important point, oiling the data. You must learn to groom and harness the data. I was talking to a group of schools, and I said all schools now should have a unit or a department for child management. Gone are the days of having one blanket curriculum and say we are a British curriculum, American curriculum. No. In this age and time, you need to begin to interact with the child. Oh, this child has, you talked about intelligences. musical competencies. This child is more of an art person. This child is more of a public speaker and political. The guy, they show politics for him blood. And begin to create services around that. So that your schools are not just generic schools. Your schools are also niche-based schools. So I know that when I want my child to be sports-focused, I can go to so school. And they can cross-pollinate. That way, competition is off the table. Collaboration is improved. This is the influence economy. And they move them around. When Ongaben was introducing me, he said, I've done many things. Yes, I have. My first degree is computer science. I was posted to Lagos to serve as a copper. When I got to Lagos, I served with Lagos City Computer College, Ikeja along. It was while I was there, I noticed that there was this calling. It looked like they wrote counselor on my forehead. So people come up to me and say, I have issue. I don't know what course to read. Oh, I was raped. Oh, I was molested. Oh, my sister's husband is harassing me. So kids were coming to me. And at that time, the only thing I knew was Bible. I said, no, let's pray. Come, let me pray with you. I hold my hand. But over time, I noticed the demand increased. So I became interested. I started finding more information. That's how I became certified in EQ, anger management, neuro-linguistics programming, and started shifting focus. Now, by 2010, I had become most of the certifications, including life coaching. That was where I met Fife. In fact, the very first life coaching in my life I met was Fife. When I got to Lanre Olushala's office, I said, hi. I met one guy sitting, I said, hello, I'm here for life coaching class. Fife looked up. I said, just wait. So please put your hands together for Fife Bankole. So I became a life coach in 2010. Then I made up my mind that I was going to leave my job. So I left my job. Then we started the journey of, I noticed that any signboard I saw, I will copy. I had a large diary. I'll copy phone number and email address. Anywhere I see phone number and email, I will copy it. God help you, I see your phone number, I will copy it. God help me, I see your email address, I'll copy it. Then once in a week, I was telling my PA yesterday or today, once in a week, I'll go to the cyber cafe and pay for 1 hour of browsing, 100 naira, okay, Alpha, in Lagos. That big diary, I'll open it. I had an email called Faster Mail, Mr. Obafemi at fastermail.com. I'll open the mail and start typing all the email addresses in the contact list. I want to come home in the night and be writing all the things I'm blasting today. Since 2003, you'll not be today. I'll just write story, how I went and entered Molue, how rain beat me, how I came back, how this one. The moral of the story is this. I will blast it once a week. 100 naira, cyber cafe. So when Coach talked about consistency, this matter no be today. So today, oh, the octopus, oh, your fee is this one, oh, you're this one, no be today, oh. But there's a place I'm going. The same email addresses I used to send mails to. When I started business consulting, the same people, I will mail them. When I started selling, so anything I'm selling today is the same transition of the same audience that are more increasing in number and clout and context and nature and size. So when my web team tells me that today my email size has reached 15K, there were days when my email size was probably just 200 emails. That is the flow. So when you go back home today, all the complimentary cards you have abandoned in that drawer, bring them out. Open an Excel sheet. Write name, phone number, email. Name, phone number, email. Ask anybody, how can I put this into a mailing system? Then start engaging them. And when I say engage them, don't just be selling only your own thing. You're a makeup artist. You find a course in business development and something. So, I stumbled on a program, you may be interested. Send it to the same people. Because you are feeding them, they will reciprocate. They will stay. So, in my last words would be, remember that this is the age of access. Anyone you meet is access to unlimited wealth. One of the strong things about influence economy is, I may not have the money to pay you, but I have people that have money that can pay you. You have access to me. When most of you don't like network marketing, but let me tell you the secret that you can understand. Network marketing thrives on influence economy. You see that pyramid you people don't like? Bring to. It's actually a system that thrives on influence economy. You know why? Somebody at the top of the pyramid may not have the cash to pay you, but they can project what you do to other people through whom you get paid. So if I have 500 contacts on my phone and I put your flyer on my status and 10 out of 500 reach you, have I been a blessing to you or not? Influence economy. Please don't joke with human beings, because human beings are the gateway to wealth. Recession has nothing on you if you understand the influence economy. Thank you very much.